The game opens up with you waking up in a tent in a very dark cave with no one around. Hearing a beeping noise, you walk towards it and find an item. Some form of a scanner, but as you quickly use it, it's apparent that it's not just a normal scanner, but rather a device that shoots light balls wherever you aim at it to light up the cave. And your main goal is to get out of the cave and, not fall to your death. The reason why it's down in this cave is because you want to find out more about this ancient cult that used to live here, with of course no one believing there was a cult there at all, even his wife saying it was a dumb idea to come here. But again, our goal is to get the fuck out of the cave with our one tool, that being the light gun. This is your one and only tool throughout the whole game, outside of a map, but that one is kinda useless, so. But despite that, you don't really need anything else. I would even say the map, again, is not needed due to how linear the game is. All you really need is your light gun, and man, does it light up the areas. Aim at the wall, floor, roof, or an object and watch the colors appear and do the magic. The colors are being displayed in a rainbow sense, with the colors being closer to you being more yellow and red, while far away more green and blue. Shooting lights around the cave is insanely addicting to me. I definitely spent an extra hour alone just shooting lights around the cave just to trying to turn everything in the cave into color. You also found your first upgrade to the light gun. With this one you're able to change the area of effect you want the gun to light up. From a more widespread shot but weaker, or far but stronger in a much smaller area. While in the first area you just explore some simple caves, further in you can see a couple of bridges above a big hole. It's pretty safe to assume that if you fall down here you die. Spoilers, yeah, you actually will die if you fall down here. Trying to platform around them and getting to this bridge right here, this happened. You have no idea how scared shitless I was. The loud sound with this glitchy effect, with seeing this one guy appearing out of nowhere, it terrified me. Especially considering you saw him earlier, but now he's right there and I just didn't know how to react. Luckily, after a while, it does disappear and doesn't kill you and you're safe again. With the main character kind of coping with that it being a glitch of like some older explorer who was here before. Moving a bit on, we get to this part where you have to get over to the other side to progress, and I had a very serious DSP moment. I legit ran back and forth, trying to find out how to get over, and then I found out you can walk across this tight wall right here. I think I spent around 20 minutes trying to find out how to get over, and looking back it's really stupid to think about it.
You are so stupid.
Continuing, we see more of those glitches we saw earlier, being past memories, quote unquote, of people who have been there before. Getting around, we get a new upgrade on our gun, and oh lord, it is the best upgrade in the whole game. This upgrade paints everything in front of you, with the only downside being it needs to be recharged every 10 seconds. But still, I use it all the time when I could. It's super helpful. I think it's also a good time to mention now, but the atmosphere, it is absolutely incredible. A lot of the game will be silent, with the only thing you will hear being the environmental sounds like your footsteps or the light gun. This game had me on my toes for like 90% of the time playing it. You're left completely alone, with everyone else being gone or dead. The only company you have is really your light projection. There were even times I would get scared by my own footsteps. Exploring more of the cave, we can see statues of an old civilization or cult that lived here. Like I said earlier, this is the reason what the main character wanted to go down to the caves, to find proof of this cult existing, with of course no one believing him. We get to see the staircases, big statues and doors that were created by this cult from many years ago. We also see an altar where the cult was worshipping some form of god. And at the end, a tall cliff that shows some past memories of the cult throwing someone over, killing them in the process. Most likely a way to nourish the gods by sacrificing humans. Here we also see a lot more of their architecture, with jails where prisoners were kept, most likely those that were going to be sacrificed, alongside several bed areas where they slept. However, after some time, many of the cult members would start getting crazy and die down here as a result. And going further, we get to caves with water in them, and this is actually the first time we ever crossed a pool, and doing so will make our vision very glitchy as the suit isn't really waterproof, but it only really lasts like 10 seconds and then gets normal. So during this area, the main character explains how they perform witch trials just like the Salem witch trials from 962 to 963, where several women were accused of being witches and burnt to the stake. The reason I'm telling you all this is because the witches, they are real here. I did not want to move a single step further. The screams does come back, but only when you're in the water. Even to the point where one of them killed me. So yeah, don't go into the water. But at some point we are sent to a small cave that has a boat. And my immediate reaction was, oh lordy Lou, the witches gonna kill me, aren't they? But this actually turned out to be the most relaxing part of the whole game. Just sailing your boat across these caves alongside this really nice music with a guitar playing in the background, it was super relaxing. I expected this part to be super intense, but instead it was the opposite. Moving forward, we also come to a cave that used to be a place where miners would mine for presumably minerals, like many years later after the cult died. With not only statues, but also seeing some past memories of them working here. While some did left the cave, some did die down here too. I do think either it was because of the environment or it was because the cave turned crazy, just like the cult. Here we also see a lot of structures left behind from the miners now being old and mostly destroyed. I also spent like 10 minutes in this area trying to find out how the fuck to get over there, but then I realized you're not supposed to go there, you're supposed to go on the bridge instead. I don't think my brain was working when playing this game, honestly. This part is also where we got the final upgrade for the gun, where you can only see the green light. I used it for a bit, I went back to the old one, because I mean, the rainbow one is so much cooler. The green does actually have one use that I will actually get to a bit later, but for now it doesn't really have much use. Now with this, we're almost at the end with an elevator standing between us and getting outside of the cave. The only problem is that the gate is locked, so you have to unlock it by pressing 2 buttons on each side. It's nothing too special, just walking through a specific way and press the button. By unlocking the gate and pressing the button, we're finally able to move up. So getting to the top, we're finally out of the cave and it feels really good. Despite it being dark outside, you can still see more of what they could than in the cave. Even a woman and her 2 kids standing at the dog who appears to be George's family waiting for him. But as we get closer, George starts to say something very weird. How they always waited for him but he never arrived and they will never see them again? And walking towards them, it plays a cutscene of them throwing flowers in the water as a memory of George. After that we get a nice but sad track playing with the cave system going all the way back to the beginning of his tent. Now with the light still staying on until they leave, making the cave dark again. And walking up and picking up the light gun again, this time reveals that he's turned into one of those light creatures from before. During the section where George walked into the cultists all there, he talks about how the people who died here had to relive their final days over and over again, which drove them all insane. The cultists, witches and miners, all who died here, had to relive their final days in eternity. And unfortunately, George was in the same boat as them. By trying to find proof the cultist, George died in the cave by falling down, which sent him in this time loop of experiencing his final day over and over again, turning him into one of those light creatures. The same light you see him through the whole game. Now while George doesn't know how he died, we can actually find his body. By going into New Game Plus and turning the green filter on, you can find George's dead body. I think it's pretty safe to assume we're seeing this body that he fell down and then broke his neck and then died here. And that's Scanner Sombre. It's a really incredible atmospheric experience that I recommend everyone to play. It's only like $6 on Steam and it's like 2 hours long, but come on man. Play it or I'll be in your walls and you don't want that to happen, okay? We don't want that to happen. Nobody wants that. So thank you all for watching and I'm going now because, you know, I'm done, so bye.